Hello and welcome to Riverside Children's Church. It's great to be back with our second session, here with more fun and games, Bible story and a chance to pray together and do a little activity as well. I'm Melody, and first of all we want to get to know you a little bit better. If you're in groups, if you're in a community group or in a group at Riverside House or in your household, why don't you go around now and think about if you would rather be able to fly or swim underwater without having to go up for breath, so breathing underwater. I think I might go for breathing underwater. It'd be quite nice to be able to swim with seals or otters and see everything that's underneath our seas. 10 seconds to pause and have a little think about that together now. Welcome to game time. We have got a little challenge for you first of all this morning. I have got here a plate of something that I've broken all up, and I need you to guess what it was before I broke it all up. So this is the first one. Hopefully you should be able to see that there. That's number one. And I've got another plate that I'm gonna show you something else that is broken up. So guesses for those. So that's number one and number two. And ready for the answers? Number two were some spaghetti, some spaghetti linguine. So well done if you got that right. And number one were pain au chocolat, of course. Well done if you guessed those. Today we are thinking a little bit about brokenness. We're thinking things about wholeness and bringing things all together, working together. So we've got a challenge where you need to work together if you're in a group right now. We need you to have a little bit of a competition in teams to see who can build the tallest tower. It might be that you've got loads of recycling there. Maybe you're in a community group in someone's house and they've got loads of recycling. Or you might have blocks or just things around your kitchen. See if you can build a really tall tower. You've got 10 seconds now where you can pause this video and have a little go in your groups. Go for it. It is time to get our Bibles out. This morning we are reading from the Beginner's Bible, so you've got one of those at home or in your groups, grab it out. Why don't you follow along with this? You can have a look at the pictures, or if you want to, you can pause the video right now and read it together yourselves. It is on page 326 and it's called Through the Roof. Crowds of people went to see Jesus. They listened to him teach. He even healed the sick people. One day, Jesus was teaching inside a house. So many people came to see him that the house was full. 4 men came with their friend. Their friend could not walk. They had to carry him on a little bed. But they could not get to Jesus. The house was too full. That did not stop them. There were some stairs outside the house. Up the stairs they went to the roof. They took some of the tiles off the roof and made a hole. Then they let their friend down right through the roof, right in front of Jesus. When Jesus saw the man, he said, "Get up and walk." The man stood up. He walked home, praising God. Everyone else was amazed too. They thanked God. Wow, and that is just one of the many stories in the Bible. Maybe you can find some others that talk about Jesus healing people, making people whole. And last week, we actually made some mirrors and we got some foil, and we recognised that all of us are a little bit broken. All of us don't really reflect God as perfectly as Jesus does, as perfectly as he designed. And there might be that there are some specific people in your lives that you can think of that maybe need physical healing, but each of us need to know Jesus' wholeness and life in our lives. So there are a couple questions that you might want to pause the video now and think about, maybe talk about in your groups. What would it look like if God made each of us whole, if everyone in the world was made whole and had the fullness of life? And maybe you might want to think about as well what your life would look like. Would your life be any different if you knew God's complete wholeness and fullness? What would that mean to you? 10 seconds to think about, or if you want to pause this video and talk about in your groups. Today we can have a chance to think a bit more about the story and make our own version of the story, maybe out of Lego or Duplo, or if you wanted to draw or paint, get a bit more creative with Play-Doh or something, that's great too. I've got some Lego here. In your groups you might have some Lego, or at community groups, or in your house you might have some Lego or Duplo things that you can build maybe the house out of, and maybe you can make a little hole in the top to bring the little Lego men through in front of Jesus. You might want to light a candle as a sign of remembering maybe people that you want to pray for, giving them over to Jesus. As we've read about Jesus' healing in the Bible, we believe that God can still do that today. And so you might want to light a candle and pray for healing and wholeness in somebody's life. You might have some jars at home or in your group, or tea light candle holders that you might want to decorate. You can paint or use some nice felt tips or stickers and make it all look lovely, and you can take a little tea light to light and maybe pray for that person each day this week. Well, it's been great to be able to do church together again this week. And as we're thankful for our bodies and all that God has given for us, why don't you try and learn to do a new thing this week, like clicking your fingers, or a cartwheel, or maybe learning to do a forward roll, or even saying hello in a different language, or maybe you can go or something like that with your tongue. See what you can do this week.